Hello, today we are going to talk about how to create a Qt C++ calculator. So it's a simple GUI application which is a calculator, so similar to KDE's calculator. It will have buttons for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 and for operators. Okay. And we're following this tutorial, the Qt tutorial C++ calculator from Derek Banas. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we'll need Qt Creator. So I'm on Kubuntu 2204 virtual machine. Okay. It's going to install Qt Creator from Kubuntu 2204 dip packages. I want to continue. Okay. What else do we need? Let's start Qt Creator. Okay, let's make Qt Creator use half of the screen. Says, would you like to take a quick UI tour? To see the tour later, help UI tour. This guy. Take the UI tour. Mode selector. Edit design. Hit selector. Run button, debug button, build button. Locator, this is the search. C space pattern to jump to a class definition. F space pattern to open a file. Click on the magnifier icon for a complete list of possible options. Output panes, issues, search application, output, test runs, progress indicator, escape to editor. Pressing escape key brings you back to the editor. Press it multiple times to also hide output panes and context help, giving the editor more space. The end. Great. Okay. So now we're creating a GUI widgets application. Let's copy this directory. File, new file or project, Qt widgets application, choose directory, and the name should be calculator with an uppercase C. Next. Not QMake, but CMake. Next. And the class name should not be main window, but calculator with an uppercase C. Okay, keep the rest of the defaults. Language none. So the desktop kit is the GCC, G++, GNU Make, etc. from Ubuntu deb packages. No version control. Finish. Okay. And what happens next? So there's the calculator.cpp file, which has the constructor and destructor of the main window, and main, which is the entry point of the executable, and then calculator.ui. If you double click on it, it will open in the forms editor, which is called the design mode. Control 3. View, where are you? Mode selector. How do we go to design from the main menu of the application Qt Creator? I don't know. Okay, let's make the window a bit smaller and see what's next. Okay, next is we need to find the input widgets, which are these, and under input widgets we need a text edit. Line edit. Okay. Line edit, this guy. No. Okay. So layout, and then in a grid. Okay. Then line edit, size policy, widget, size policy, horizontal policy should be preferred. Vertical policy should be expanding. Okay. The line edit should be named display. Double click on it. Then we need a push button. From buttons. So this is buttons, push button. Another push button to the right. of the first push button. Another push button to the right of the push button, of the last push button. So there's 3 in a row. And we need a 4th one. And 5 in a row. And 5 more on the 2nd row. And we need 4 rows. Okay, so 4 rows, 5 columns. Okay. What else? We make the line edit wider. Okay. And then we need to select all of the push buttons. Control click. We need to select them in an order. Probably not. Okay, they become selected in the right hand side. The document structure view, or what's the name of this thing? The right hand side view. Okay. Then we can edit the properties of all of them at once. Size policy horizontal. Policy should be preferred. And vertical policy should be preferred. Then we edit the CSS for all of the push buttons. So that's QWidget, style sheet. Click on the button with 3 dots. Okay. And this is CSS syntax. So selector, okay. And for colors, the tutorial uses the Wikipedia page on HTML colors. Web colors page. Okay, so this section of the page. The section extended colors. Okay. So it goes into grays. So gray and black colors. And uses silver, which is C0, C0, C0. So this guy. Okay. Border 1 pixel, solid gray. Padding 5 pixels. Base has very style sheet. Let's make the window bigger. And a special style block for Q push button pressed. So padding 5 pixels, border 1 pixel, solid gray, and different background color. A different type of gray. So the CSS style sheet is valid. We go OK. Let's make this window a bit narrower. Like this. So we select the Q line edit, which is named display, and we edit its style sheet. So the name of the class is not Q push button, but Q line edit. You can see it in here in the right hand side view with the structure of the controls on the calculator.ui form. So it says background color gray, border 1 pixel solid gray, and then color many Fs. Okay. and text 0.0. Let's make the forms narrower still. We can't. Okay, select the QLine edit, and the text should be 0.0. So QLine edit text 0.0. Let me save all. Okay, so it's where is the font? So QWidget font, the font selector, and we make it bigger and bolder. And alignment, because it's a number, not text, should not be left aligned but right aligned. Okay, that's QLine edit. Alignment, horizontal alignment, align right. Okay, and then we double click on each button and we edit its label. So the calculator looks like this. So 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 0, and then minus plus equals, and then CAC, memory plus, memory minus. Okay, so double click on this. 7, 8, 9, slash m plus 4, 5, 6, multiplication m minus 1, 2, 3, addition m, clean up, double click 0, plus slash minus, minus, and the very last one equals. Okay, now we put correct names for all of the controls, and those will be also used for the members of the class. So double click on this, button 7. Button 8. Button 9. Button 4. button 5. Just click once, double click. 6. Button 3. And button 0. Okay, so next up the operators. AC is button clear. Change sign. Okay. Button division. Button application. Button addition. Add. Turn minus. Let's make this. Okay. Equals. Okay. Button mem set. Mem add. Mem clear, mem get. Okay, so no control has default name. Calculator button 1 through 9, add. Change sign, clear division, equals mem add, mem clear, mem get, minus multiplication, display, menu bar and status bar. Okay. What else? We select the buttons on the right two columns using control click. We edit the style sheet. This is the style sheet that's in that was set for each button individually. And now we change the color, the background color. And we go with the oranges, dark orange. Oranges, dark orange, this guy. Okay. So let's look at the files. File save all. So there's a CMake file. CMake lists.txt, which looks like this. It says the project name is calculator, AutoMock, AutoRCC, AutoUIC, C++11, Qt 5 or 6, Qt widgets, Qt version major, the source files, so main.cpp, calculator.cpp, calculator.h, and calculator.ui. There should be an executable somewhere. This thing. Add executable calculator, and then project resources, which is project sources, which are the 4 files. Okay, and that's it. Next, there's the calculator.ui file, which is an XML file, which contains the layout of the form editor, which this XML file can be edited using the designer. Ctrl 3. So it says there's one top level widget, which inherits from class QMainWindow. The class name is calculator and has a width and a height. And then the window title is calculator. And it has a central widget of type QWidget, a grid layout, button 6. There's a style sheet. I don't know what for. Ah, so this is the layout, grid layout. which is the parent of the individual push buttons and the Q-line edit. So QPush button 6 has its own CSS property name stylesheet. Size policy preferred. String 6. Name button 6. Okay. So this is item on row 2 and column 2. So on the third row and the third column. I'm guessing that rows and columns start from 0. Okay. The button add, which is on the fourth row, fourth column, has a different CSS because it has a different background color. So the button 6 has C0, C0, C0 background color. And the add button has FF8C00. Okay. So button memget. Button 1 division for 2 clear multiplication 9 3 mem add clear button 0 equals, and at the end is on row 0 column 0 column span 5 widget class Q-line edit with the name display, size policy preferred expanding, different font with 18 size, and bold. Different CSS, background color, border, and then color. And then there's alignment property, align right. Q menu bar named menu bar, which is the main menu bar of the application. Empty for now, and a status bar, which is empty for now. Okay, well, this is the main entry point of the application. It just creates a queue application, which is a form, and then runs it inside of the main loop. Here, application.exec. Okay, and in calculator.age, use a UI namespace, which is let's build and see what the UI namespace is. Build. So we've built. Let's look at the files. Run it in the debugger. So the member variable UI is of type pointer to UI calculator. UI calculator.age. This guy. I don't have permissions to open it. Okay. Should begin namespace. So it's a form generated from reading the UI file calculator.ui. So this XML file is converted to UI underscore calculator.age, which contains a class named the UI underscore calculator, has member variables for all of the controls on the form. There is a setup UI method. Sets the object names, sets CSS, places the button and the correct coordinates of the grid layout. So on the correct row and the correct column. Okay. Then it sets the line edit, sets the object name to display, preferred and expanding, CSS, align right, menu bar empty and status bar empty. Then it sets the texts. So button 0 doesn't have any text yet. In the method retranslate UI, it sets the text in an internationalized way, translate it to the correct language. And then it says namespace UI, which is what we have in here. We have namespace UI and forward declaration class calculator. So it says class calculator is just inheriting everything from the class UI calculator. Okay. So the namespace UI is this thing, and UI : calculator is this thing, and UI is a member variable that's a pointer to this thing. Then there's a parent widget if you want to create a model window. Okay, let's see what's next. Let's stop the debugging. We need private slots. Void num rest. Void math button rest. Void equal button. And the last one, void change numbers sign. Let's save it. And now in main.cpp, nothing to do. Calculator.cpp. Okay. Calcval. Okay. Control C, V. 4 of these for the operators. Okay, let's edit the constructor. So after the UI is set, translated, everything, we do additional initializations. Const qstring reference. Okay, so we need all the buttons for 0 to 9, the digits. So we convert the I, which is an integer 0 to 9, to QString. Let's see what the find child does. So it's from QObject.h, which is from my Kubuntu package for Qt /usr/include Qt5 Qt core QObject. Find child has the body defined inside of the H file. It's a template. Type name T, returns T. Find child by const QString reference. Find child options recursively. What's the obj type? Type diff, type name. T. So there's a T in there. And then it defines a thing named obj type. And then goes Qt, QFind child helper. Which has the body in a CPP file, and I don't have that CPP file. Because I don't have the source of the Qt SO files. The CPP files that were used to generate the SO files for Qt. Okay. So now we have an array, 10 positions. On each position there's a QPush button pointer. Buttons of I. Magic. Okay, so connect num buttons at the index I. So what does connect do? Connect is a QObject member method that has a sender and a member. Connection type and signal. So this is the object. This is the const char pointer signal, const char pointer member, and then a connection type. So the connection type is slot numPressed. And this is not a string. I'm not sure it navigated to the correct definition. Sender signal this member type. What's this? So other member methods of the type Q object, which have the name connect. So different signatures for the method connect. Then different signatures. Okay, so when num button 1 on released being what, mouse up or something, then num pressed is a method of the calculator class, a slot, private slot of the calculator class. So I'm guessing on mouse up on this button, the num pressed of calculator will be called. So on mouse up of the button. So it connects a button to the parent parent form. Okay. So let's start implementing. Void num pressed. Okay. See its body. To push button. Push button pointer of sender. Sender being what? Sender being a getter. If called in a slot activated by a signal, returns the object that sent that signal. Otherwise, returns null. The pointer is valid only during the execution of the slot that calls this function from the object's thread context. Okay, so it's a magic thing that communicates with a global, which probably is thread local storage or something, because it can't send the sender as is in C# where the sender is the first parameter and then the what, the E is the second parameter, event args. Okay, so it must get the sender and the event args from somewhere. Okay. button text. Display val. UI. Display is the QLine edit. Text is a getter member variable member method. So there's a 00 and a 000. 0.0. Okay, so if the QLine edit is empty and we have pressed a button that's a digit, then we put that digit on the QLine edit. Let's have a new line before all ifs. So if the QLine edit is not empty, then there's the value of the button, there's the value that's displayed. Set text. TPL. Shortcut for commenting. toggle command section Ctrl/. Okay. So push button, butter pointer, QString, bot val, display val, QString new val, display val, double new val, UI display set text, QString number, double new val, G and 16. Precision 6, precision 16. What's a QString number? So G is default. And we improve the precision from 6 to 16. Okay. File save all, run. Control W. Let's see the application. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1. Whoa, it already does something. Infinite. Okay. Oh, a good moment to stop and think. Okay, so we have a clear and clean separation between the source code, which lives in the directory calculator, and the other files like build artifacts, CMake, the result of code generators, etc. Everything else is in another directory. We don't really need to think much about it. It has a strange name with the build and project name, and then the kit name, and then the CMake build configuration. So this directory, we need to have it under version control. Right. Settings, show embedded terminal, settings, send to embedded terminal emulator. Okay, this is it. So git GUI, git init here. Okay, it says that the branch, the default branch is called master, not main. So yeah, master is okay. Initialize an empty git repository. Let's do a git GUI. No git GUI for me. Okay, let's install it. So apt install git GUI git k. Okay, git GUI. These are files which were never staged. There's no commits yet. So I don't know what cmakelists.txt.user does. I guess it needs to be ignored. Let's search for that. So .git ignore CMake. So all of these things need to be ignored, says GitHub. Raw. Save page as. Ctrl A, Ctrl C. Ctrl V. So the directory where the source code is, and then the name should be .gitignore. Save. Ctrl W. Okay, rescan. So we have a gitignore. Then the main CPP where the entry point is, we keep it unchanged. The calculator.ui, which contains the XML in a declarative way, the structure of the Qt widgets, so controls, forms, etc. Then there's the H file, so we have a class corresponding to the form, to the window. This has, being a C++ class, has a CPP and an H file. So the CPP is the translation unit. The H contains at least the signatures of the type and the methods. And CPP can contain the body of the methods and constructor, destructor. Okay, and the CPP file includes the H file. Okay, the initial commit is always always the same message, which is initial commit. We can look at the history. So there's just one commit, one branch. The branch is local, it's called master. We're on it. Okay. My name is okay. My email address is okay. The commit message is initial commit. The git ignore that GitHub recommends. The CMake lists file, which was generated by Qt Creator automatically. Calculator.cpp, we've added a numPressed method or slot. Whenever we click on the button 3, that 3 is put on the display. Okay, and the H file, and then the XML file containing the definition of the design. Okay, looks good. Let's continue. Let's uncomment this, Ctrl S. So F4, switch header source F4. Paste. We need to prepend the name of the class colon. Okay. Control X does not work. Control C, Control V. Malt. Add. Sub. Okay, so the already displayed text on the QLine edit, we convert that to double. The button slash was pressed, which is the div trigger, the division. So we have the value as a double. We have which button has was clicked. We have its text, and then we have a switch. So compare is probably that type of function which returns -1, 0, 1. Hopefully. We have documentation for this thing. So we copy, Ctrl C, Alt F2, and then what was that? Qt and paste. Alt F2, Qt colon. Okay. QString compare. Let's go Qt 5. Well, maybe it's not on QString. It is on QString. Let's see which definition. So it's QString compare, QString, const pointer, and enum. The first one is a QString. QChar. I don't know what I'm doing. So this is a member method, and this is a static method, right? In C#. Where are the other methods? Just a ton of compares. Where are they? So this is a non-static, and this is a static. Okay, static public members. I don't know which override. Let's pretend it's this one. Overloads compare. Lexically compares this string with the other string, returns an integer less than, equal to, or greater than 0. If this string is less than, equal to, or greater than the other string. So it doesn't say -1 and +1. It just says less than 0. Okay. So QString compare but val slash cute case insensitive. Control slash. Okay. It knows how to decide if it needs to comment the entire line, control slash, or if I selected something, it does a block comment. Okay, so we set the Boolean variables to some values. It's ugly that they're not member variables. Why would they not be? Why would we use globals? Okay, so just for these 4. And we go display. Text. So you press 1, then you press plus. When you press plus, what does it happen? It is the QLine edit emptied or not? Should be emptied because then you can press 3. It will write 3 on the QLine edit. Okay. Ctrl/Ctrl+S. Ctrl+C F4. Ctrl+V. Class name. ::, and Ctrl+S. Okay, let's do the meet. So we have the display value as string, as QString, the display value as tuple. Okay, so we have the solution. So let's say we pressed 7, we did this. Then we pressed plus, we did this. And then we pressed 3, so 7 plus 3. We went here. Now we pressed equals. So we have 7, which is already displayed. No, it's not already displayed. 3 is displayed. Okay, so it pressed 7. It set 7 on the display. Pressed plus. It saved the 7 into this global variable. This thing. Then it pressed 3. So now it computes this calcval plus this display text. and the operation is plus. And everything is going to be computed into the local tuple solution. So if it's an addition, the solution equals what's on the calculator already, plus what's on the display. Okay. Else. Control C. This is the sub. What's on the calculator? So 7 minus 3. What's on the calculator? 7 times 3. It's on the display. And division 7 divided by 3. Control S. Okay. And then we display everything. Okay. Let's make sure it builds, and then let's commit Ctrl S, run. So 7 plus 3, 7 plus 3, 7 plus 3. Now pressed 7, display. It's not hooked up. Only the digit buttons have a connection. Okay, so let's do the rest of the connects. C, Control V. Okay, the first is the add button. So on key up, this, and then math button. Control V, Control S, Control C. How many do we need? So 4 plus equals. Button equals. Control S, button, subtract, minus, same thing, button, multiplication, and button division. Control S, run. So 7 plus 3 equals 2.3. Seven is this thing plus add trigger is true, and display, I have seen display set text to nothing. I see calcval to double, and then the next one 3, 7 plus 3, it writes 3, this thing, hopefully. And then when we press equals, it takes the 3. We have add trigger. We have calcval, which is 7, and then we add, and we display the solution. Let's see what's happening. 7. Okay. F5 plus plus is in fact division. Ooh. Bad condition. Let's stop the debugging. So comparison should be 0. Okay, let's run this thing. 7 plus 3 equals. Don't have a clear button. Control S, we're far enough. This is a new checkpoint. Let's create a new git commit. So we've added where calculator, so calculator cpp calculator.h. There's no need to say that you edited calculator.cpp because sometimes you edit both. So where is enough if you say just the name of the class without the cpp.h. Remove the file. Okay, so add, not edit, but add these two things. Control V. And we have added the connections to the plus, minus, slash multiplication button and the connection for the equals button. The method for the arithmetic operators and the button for equals. Okay. A minute, let's look at the history repository. Visualize all branch history. So there's just one local branch which is called master, which doesn't point to the first commit, now points to the second commit. And the second commit is marked as having a parent, and the parent is initial commit. The current git commit has shasam 784A, and its parent has shasam 392C. Okay. What's next? We really need to do the clear. Clear is everything. Okay. F4, Control/Control S, change sign number. Change number sign. Control-C, F4, Control-V, Control-C, Control-V, Control-S. Okay. So change number sign. Let's add the connection. So the buttons is called something with change. That guy. The slot is change number sign. Okay. Okay, let's do a slot. So change number sign slot. QregExp. Display val to double. Display sign. Okay, and the regular expression is minus 1 or 0. It just validates that it's a number. Why would it validate? I don't know. So this means the set that contains just the character minus. It means 0 times or 1 time. This means the set with all of the digits and then any other characters. And then this means 0 or more times. Which in fact doesn't really do anything. Yeah. Okay. And we need to set text. Choose string, number. Display. This. Okay, Control S. Let's see this in action. Control S. Run. Has been changed. Some file has been changed. Should have never been opened. Where is this thing? Oh, with sign. Okay. Interesting. Control S. On. So it goes 7 and then change the sign. Plus 7 equals 0. Correct. Okay. And then the 3m operations plus minus and m. Num pressed, math button pressed equal button pressed. Line like this. Control C F4. Listing. Control S. And okay. So we need to make another git commit. We did change number sign. Where calculator what so we connect, we implement commit history. So 3 git commits, the initial, the second and the third. Each has its own SHA-ID. Each has a parent relation. So SHA-ID 7897 is the child, and the parent is 784A. And its parent is 392C. So it has a child and a parent. And that's about it. So that was it. We've created a calculator application, GUI application, graphical user interface application, written in C++ using the Qt framework, using the official ID from the Qt framework, which is the Qt creator. We have a editor for CPPH files. We have a visual designer for .ui files, which contain an XML with the layout of forms, a form being a window, a dialog. We are using Qt widgets, not Qt Quick, not QML. This is the hierarchy of widgets. So a Q main window, which is actually a window, has a parent, the central widget, which has the layout, which is grid layout, listing, Ctrl-G layout in a grid. And then on the various cells of the grid, we have on the first row, first column, a Q-line edit, which stretches 5 columns. And then on the second row, we have button 7, 8, 9, slash, and then plus. On the next row, we have buttons 4, 5, 6, multiplication, and M minus. On the next row, we have buttons 1, 2, 3, plus, and M. On the next, on the last row, we have the buttons AC, so clear, 0, change sign, minus, and equals. we've implemented the event of clicking these buttons. So there's an event for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which are the digits. And that event is num pressed. Then there's an event for +/- which is called the change sign button. And that's the event, the slot, the private slot. Change number sign pressed. And then we have an event for / multiplication +/-, which is the private slot math button pressed. And then there's an event for the button equals. Which is equal button pressed. Okay, we have saved all. We have run everything. So this is the kit selector. It's selected desktop kit, the calculator project, the debug CMake build configuration, which means as little optimization as possible from the G++, C++ compiler, and debug symbols, which means dwarf. Okay, so we can debug using this build configuration. The build works. Control B. No errors. Okay, this is the output of the configure step, which is CMake. This is the output of make step, which is compiling. The make install step is not executed. This is the output of actually running the application. We can run the application either with run Ctrl R button, or we can run in the debugger. We've put some breakpoints. Let's put a breakpoint in a constructor. Bug. Okay, and the setup UI method was generated using the Qt framework's code generators. Okay. The GDB in Ubuntu 22.04 is broken, is bad. You need a better, newer GDB. And that's it. So this is the second application where we use the Qt framework. We use Qt widgets, and we use the Visual Designer, and we learn how to use the Qt framework, the Qt widgets part. Thank you.